Few things offer a greater sense of mystery and fascination than coming face to face with our past. Stumbling upon remnants of a long-gone era that tell us what life was like in centuries gone by. Ruins and relics, artifacts and objects, excavations and dwellings that give us an idea of our ancestors' trade, commerce, housing in ages past, and how they lived and died. The four ancient civilizations, Indus, Mesopotamian, Egyptian, and Chinese, are the earliest known to mankind. Being usually clustered around river valleys, they were named after the river that flowed beside the settlements. Of the four, the Indus Valley or Harappan civilization, which existed from around 3000 to 1500 BC, according to some experts, corresponds with the Bronze Age in other cultures. It is estimated to have encompassed the largest area, spreading over 1.5 million square kilometers, almost the area of Western Europe. The civilization extended over present-day India, Pakistan, and parts of Afghanistan. The most well-known Indus Valley sites are Harappa and Mohenjo-daro, both situated in Pakistan, and Lothal in Gujarat, India. The Indus Valley civilization was essentially an urban one, where people lived in well-planned and well-built towns that were also centers of trade. The ruins of Mohenjo-daro and Harappa show that these were magnificent merchant cities, scientifically laid out with a well-developed drainage system. Residential houses were made of baked bricks and had 2 or more stories. The first site was re-excavated after independence at Rangpur, Limri in Gujarat. Around 2500 BC, the Harappans began rapidly moving into Kutch and settling down. Evidence suggests that they brought with them a highly developed culture, rich in arts and science. Today, 60 settlements have been found there, of which 40 belong to the early phase, and the rest the late phase of their mature culture. Based on the evidence, it looks like the Harappans lived a full life before their culture declined and broke up, causing a large-scale migration from Kutch to the interiors of the state. Lothal, one of the southernmost outposts of the Indus civilization, and certainly one of the most interesting examples of Harappan town planning, is Lothal, around 80 kilometers from Ahmedabad. The word Lothal means place for the dead in Gujarati, from the word Loth and Thal or Sthal. Its unique lock-gated dockyard is perhaps the greatest example of maritime architecture from the ancient world. Lothal was a hub at the center of the trading zone as one moves down from Sindh to the coast of Saurashtra. Rangpur and Lothal were among the first 2 places where the valley civilization was discovered in India. For tourists interested in archaeology, Lothal is the perfect place to get an insight into the ancient Indus Valley civilization. Lothal developed as the most important port and a center of the bead industry as well. The Indus dichotomy of dividing the city into a citadel or acropolis and a lower town was followed here too. The ruler and his entourage lived in the acropolis, where houses were built on 3-meter-high platforms and provided with all the civic amenities, including paved baths, underground drains, and a well for potable water. The lower town contained the commercial and residential areas, with arterial streets being flanked by shops, artisans' workshops, and merchants' dwellings. Seals were used to label imports and exports from the dock, and some of the seals have been found during digs. The industry of special interest was pottery, which included beautiful jars painted with stags, bulls, cows, horses and birds, terracotta toys and figurines. Perhaps the most unique aspect of planning was the system of the underground sanitary drainage. Expert masonry kept the sewer watertight, while drops at regular intervals acted as an automatic cleaning device. The commoners' houses had baths and drains that emptied into underground soakage jars. A cemetery was also situated on the western end of the peripheral walls. There are two other important aspects that the engineers of Lothal accorded high priority to: a dock for berthing ships and a warehouse for storing and examining cargo. The need for a warehouse arose from the large volume of cargo it handled. The site has been dated to have been in existence around 2350 BC and even then enjoyed great prosperity due to foreign trade. It became a busy industrial center, importing pure copper and producing bronze celts, fish hooks, chisels, spearheads and ornaments, which were supplied to much of the Western world. Near the archaeological excavations is the site museum, where plans, plaster of Paris models and paintings have been made by archaeologists in an attempt to reconstruct what Lothal must have been like 4,000 years ago. The glass cases contain mirrors of bronze and copper and a variety of objects made from stone, chert, shell and bone. The perforated and painted pottery, toy bullock carts, beads and jewellery are some of its highlights. The museum also displays imports like seals from Bahrain, terracotta figures from Sumeria and objects from Egypt. The principal exports were beads, ivory and shells. Lothal is 80 kilometers from Ahmedabad, with a train up to Bhurki, which is 5 minutes away. One can stay at the Palace Utelia, a luxury heritage resort 7 kilometers away. Dholavira. Of all the Harappan sites, Dholavira, locally known as Kotara in the run of Kutch, stands apart. Dhola means white and Vira means place, due to the white sand resulting from salinity ingress. The site is considered one of the most important discoveries in recent times. It is remarkable for its magnificent planning and enormity. The site is one of the 2 largest settlements in India and the 4th largest on the subcontinent. Dholavira is famous for the unique distinction of yielding an inscription of 10 large-sized signs of the Harappan script, possibly the oldest signboard in the world. The signs were posted at a height of 20 feet in the Acropolis, mentioning possibly the name of the town. Edged with a mercury-like compound, they could be seen from miles away at night. A variety of funerary structures are yet another important feature that throw new light on the socio-religious beliefs and indicate the presence of composite ethnic groups. Inside the fortified city are 3 distinct complexes: an acropolis, a middle town and a lower town that have been furnished with their own defense networks, gateways, built-up areas, street systems, wells and large open spaces. The city within the general fortification goes well beyond 100 hectares in expanse. Dholavira provides an excellent example of Harappan town planning capabilities and the level of sophistication it had reached 5,000 years ago. The water management system is yet another highlight of the site. The Harappans seem to have stored almost the entire volume of water that used to flow in the flanking stream after the downpour in reservoirs. The town also had the world's oldest stadium. The Rangshala served as an open square for the king's speeches or as a meeting place between the towns. However, the high point of Dholavira was certainly its town planning, drainage and water management systems. Ancient civilizations have spurred much curiosity and wonder, generating considerable interest. The Indus Valley civilization is our main link, if not the only one, with our past heritage. With it being declared as a World Heritage Site and the Archaeological Survey of India planning a museum and a tourist complex, Gujarat will soon have a well-developed circuit for researchers, academicians and tourists alike.
Visiting Lothal and Dolavira has been a really great experience. It was interesting walking down there and seeing the excellent town planning and some amazing water management systems. It was like stepping into the past. And
it was really an astonishing experience to visit Lothal and Dolavira, to watch the past become alive around you and in front of you. I walked through the old architecture of Lothal and Dolavira and with the remains of the superb water management system. It was really an outstanding adventure into the history of mankind, into the history of gone civilizations.
A visitor may opt for any of the following 3 travel options: via Modera, Patan, Balaram Palace Resorts and Dolavira, via Ahmedabad, Lothal, Vakaner, Dolavira, Bombay to Bhuj by flight, and a drive to Dolavira 250 kilometers away. The Indus Valley sites offer a unique opportunity to step back in time and be a part of ancient history once again. An opportunity to marvel at our heritage and admire an ancient people who lived, worked, planned and built like none other. We have before us a responsibility to preserve and protect it, not just for the sake of past generations, but for future ones as well. For it is in studying our past that we may prepare more conclusively for our future.